Hello, everybody. I am back again. I'm on my feet again. So again, for those who don't know, I've been a little bit unwell for the past few weeks. After the crash, as you guys know, I crashed my motorcycle, broke basically everything from the hair down. My leg hasn't been doing so great. I had a piece of my motorcycle decided to make its way inside my leg, and I got really, really unwell from it. But I'm doing so much better, and you know what? I just could not wait to get back to making videos. And yeah, I'm excited to bring some of this stuff. Like, I'm still a fan of all of this kind of content myself. So it's like, damn, I want to make a video about that, but then I would, feel really nauseous and not be able to move. But anyway, no big deal. We have a Karen here. And this Karen, this again is from OSG, and I'm not just here like ganking OSG shit. It's just I watch basically everything OSG puts out because, they're always really, really good. It's bad when a cop needs a protection order against somebody. And I used to see this all the time when I worked in the courts myself. I actually did spend, again, I was injured, of course, the broken wrist, and I spent quite a bit of time working in the protection order court. And so I used to see some beautiful stuff like in real life. So anyway, we have this Karen here. She wants the judge to drop a protection order that he granted, or that another, maybe another judge granted, against her on behalf of a police officer. And then she accuses the judge of basically defending said police officer. So let's check this one out. Again, this one's from OSG, and it's Judge Rossi, so you know it's going to be
Yeah, no,
something
and
good.
I
In
guess
front
what
of
I'm getting
everybody.
here,
My daughter had to see them abuse me and almost kill me outside, throw me in the police car, and then all of them did it to me in jail.
This is the people of the state of Michigan versus Mandy Morgan, case number 18-07768-FH, and this hearing is being recorded on Zoom and live streamed on YouTube.
Thank God
and
for
this
that.
matter comes before the court today on Miss Morgan's request to set aside a conviction, two convictions of assault, resist, obstruct a police officer from 2019.
So that kind of adds some more to it. So I'm assuming a lot of the stuff with the RO comes from those convictions. Now, just real quick, I might need to go off screen once or twice here. This isn't a very long video. It's about 15 minutes or so. I might have to go off screen a couple of times. So I'm trying to stand up as much as I can and walk around as much as I can because I need to get the blood flowing in the leg. But sometimes it gets a little bit too much. So I got to go sit down or just kind of maybe stroll around the room a little bit. So just ignore me if you see me like walking around in the background or just randomly disappearing. I'm going to leave this play while I have a little bit of a stroll here in just a second. But yeah, let's get back to it.
So, as an initial matter, counsel, why don't you place your appearance on the record?
Bonnie Pravet on behalf of the people.
Very well. And ma'am, you're Miss Morgan. You're going to have to unmute Miss Morgan.
Oh, yes, sir. I'm sorry.
All right. And Miss Morgan, I'm going to swear you in if you'd please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that your testimony today will be the truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
All right. And Ms. Morgan, did you receive the prosecutor's office's response to your motion?
Yes, I did. I didn't understand it though.
Okay. Well, I can tell you that I received that. And did you receive a copy of the letter from Police Department Detective Levi Guppy?
I think it was some man. It was some man who wrote a letter. He said he can't appear in court.
Yeah, he was a Grand Rapids police officer, and his the gist of his letter there was that
Excuse me.
and I'm not certain if it was it was in connection with this incident because he describes the resisting and obstructing as you trying to force your way into a vehicle against his orders at the time while you were intoxicated. And stemming out of that, then he states there were false allegations, including internal affairs complaints with the police department and the jail alleging discourtesy, excessive force, sexual discrimination, and racial discrimination, and also with the Department of Civil Rights against the city of Grand Rapids. Uh, Him, Detective Guppy, and the county sheriff's office. Um, and that ultimately all those investigations concluded by 2022 with the finding of that they weren't supported or that they were false in the case of the internal affairs complaints. So he is requesting that I deny the request to set aside the conviction based on, one of the standards to set aside conviction is that the amount of time has passed since the conviction, and second, that your conduct during the time since the conviction has been good enough to merit setting aside the conviction. Why shouldn't I do what the detective wants me to do in this case and deny your request at this time?
Well, I was abused that whole night. I had brought out body cams with that lawyer that I had. He's not saying any of that, Judge. He's not saying anything about how he punched me into my head multiple times. The only reason why I went to go into the truck with the key is to turn my alarm off. And I was
Sorry, no, but like, okay. Let's imagine, right, that all of what she's saying is true, that, she was abused and all the rest of it. That still doesn't mean that she didn't do what they said she did. So that wouldn't be grounds in and of itself to have it overturned, right? Like, I assume I'm right on that. Like, correct me if I'm wrong.
I was in handcuffs already. I got slammed to the ground. I got almost beaten to death outside and in the jail.
All right. Well, I was there. Obviously, I didn't see what happened. What lawyer represented you in the matter?
I don't remember her name, but I know she was tall and she had red hair.
Okay. Was she your
It
criminal
was a long
lawyer?
time ago, so I
It
really
might have been Laura Joyce, I suppose.
yes,
She's with the
yes. I think
defender's office
that's
and fits your
yes.
description. Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, the bottom line though is that even after reviewing the cameras and the information during the investigation, none of those agencies found a reason to sustain your complaint or even write a letter of reprimand, much less take any disciplinary action.
So it was warranted then, essentially. Like, I mean, it's not nice that anybody needs to get, to get hit or to be physical with them or whatever. Like, that sucks and all, but sometimes you have to. That's just the nature of it.
It sounds to me like that the allegations, weren't supported adequately by the video and things like that, or I would have expected some sort of um, outcome to come out of those investigations. So, I guess uh,
They
Like, at
didn't
least
even give
one.
me a chance to, even voice my opinion on how that happened. Even my auntie was the one who called the police and lied. How am I driving with my daughter when my car was parked in my auntie's yard and my dad had my keys? See, nobody was there, to actually see really what happened.
Yeah.
But hold on. She said that she was going back into the car to get the keys. How could that be the case if her daddy had the keys?
My
Whole,
whole
whole,
family seen it, and I feel like how they almost killed me that night. I feel that I should have a chance of freedom of all the good. I mean, I've been good for how many years? I haven't even been a felon. My
Oh, wow.
background isn't even bad. I'm not
Oh, like, congratulations. Your fucking medal's in the mail. Like, a chance of freedom? Like, she's in her own gaff right now. Like, that's freedom.
that type of person.
why don't you
But for
describe to me some of the other things you've been up to since that time?
I
Uh,
got me a job. I work at sanitation.
okay.
Fair play.
How long you been
I
working there?
DoorDash. I have a 14-year-old daughter.
Awesome.
How long you been working?
Almost a month now.
Okay.
Fair play.
It just hurts me because they almost killed me. And my mental state is really bad against, like, I'm scared to death of the police. How a man feels like they can punch me in my head that hard and so many times and expecting me just to take it.
Okay, now obviously I haven't seen what she's talking about, right? So I'm not able to kind of say, okay, what she's saying is true or false, right? Obviously not, right? I don't think anybody is. It is always quite confronting in scenarios, especially where the offender is a female and the officer's male and they have to hit them, right? Like, it never looks good. It never ever looks good, you know, when somebody's on the floor and a cop has to hit them. The reality of it is, no, you're always going to get a few jumped up assholes who are going to take an opportunity to hit somebody. They might be sexist, they might be racist. It may well be the case, okay? I'm not discounting that. Like, I'm not here to say that all cops are angels by a long shot, because I've seen it with my own eyes when I was working. Not a lot of them aren't, right? Okay, fine. The reality is there is circumstances where a cop needs to hit somebody. You know, like, it's either that or you're going to get sprayed, tased, or shot. Take your pick. I don't know about you lads and lassies, but if I was acting up, I'd much rather get a clock in the head than get tased. Like, riding the lightning ain't fun. I can tell you that much. I can tell you, you could break walnuts with your ass if you get tased. And it sucks. It is awful. And I only had it for like 3 seconds, I think we had to do. And we hold the prongs. That sucks. Being pepper sprayed is one of the worst things in the world. It is awful. And yeah, you know, having a bam bam situation, you know, dying of lead poisoning, that's obviously not going to be good. So yeah, you do see these, you know, sometimes open hand strikes, sometimes just straight up punches. Because if somebody's hands are hidden, you don't know what they have, and you need to get them to release, then you gotta just wail on them, like, and it doesn't look good. I get that, especially if it's a female. Like, that's just the reality of it. You might say, oh well, you know, they deserve it either way. Sure, fine, but it doesn't look good. So I get it. It can look confronting. It just doesn't mean that there isn't a good reason to do it. So just because she's a woman doesn't discount the fact that she can be very dangerous. You know, a 90-year-old lady with a handgun can be just as dangerous as me with a handgun. Mind you, I couldn't hit water if I fell out of a boat, but that's neither here nor there.
And how they threw me in the holding cell and put their knees in my back, sir.
You might,
Yeah,
if you weren't
well, and
compliant.
like I said, I of course wasn't there. I didn't see any of those things. I do see that, you know, ultimately coming out of that, you did plead to the two. Uh,
They
with
made me plead to that too. And it also says attempt as a misdemeanor.
right,
They
they were
made me
both
plead to that.
attempted.
Can't
Yeah,
be made
yeah,
They
plead.
made
both
me plead to
misdemeanor.
that because of what they did. They didn't want me to go further with what they did to me out there.
Even if you did plea, you could still go and, you know, press charges or try to get charges brought against those people. You can't be made to plea. Just technically, you cannot be forced to plea, right? We've all watched these court videos for, you know, endless hours where they say, has anybody promised you or coerced you to make this plea? And you say no. Now, if you've been coerced, you're going to probably say no anyway, right? Of course. So it does happen. There's no doubt about it. And sometimes it's fair to say that, you know, they do kind of force your hand a little bit. It's kind of like, well, look, if you plead to the misdemeanor and take a rap on the wrist rather than fighting the charge and risk getting a felony. So, like, I get where she's coming from. You can feel coerced into it. But either way, even if she took it on the chin from the get-go, you can if you'll excuse that pun based on what allegedly happened, she can still go and fight for what happened to her if it is strong enough. And she did. She brought it all the way to the internal affairs, to a commission, the whole shooting match. And they all said no. Every one of them.
Well, I mean,
Body
when
cams was shown in the court and everything.
Yeah, and they
you
said
know,
no.
when I do take pleas, you know, every week, and when you take
Let's see
one,
if I
you
can
do have
find
to
these body
say
cams.
that, you know, you are guilty of what the charges are, and that you know, no one's threatening you or you know, making any side deals with you, as it were. And it sounds like then that um, you know,
In that court hearing, it was all types of side deals. The man wasn't even there during any court hearing. I just don't find this fair at all.
no,
Yeah.
I understand. However,
Might not need to be
you
there, you
know,
know.
part of the set aside process is they're taking the responsibility for what happened in the past. And it sounds like, unfortunately, you're just not there yet. And, there may be,
Oh,
say, I don't understand the underlying,
well, is there any way that I could push this further of them beating me since they want to push everything away? Because if I can't do this now, then I'm going to push this through the courts of how they put their hands on me and almost kill me
Do
yeah,
it.
over a
well,
lie
with
that
regard
somebody
to that,
called on me.
yeah, the only thing I can advise is certainly a lawyer could take up those complaints,
Do it. Do it. You have every right to do it. I don't know what happened, is the reality. None of us watching this right now, unless you have seen body cam footage that I haven't, none of us actually know what happened. She may have absolutely done nothing wrong, and she may have gotten hammered for no good reason. Let's just say that's the case. Go for it. Fight it. By all means, you have every right to. It doesn't take away from the fact that you were found guilty or that you pled to these offenses. No, you can claim that you were coerced or whatever. Maybe you were. And if that's the case, fight it. Fight the fucking thing. But yeah, I just don't buy
if
it.
they found there was enough of a case there, you could
Yes,
bring.
I am because
Oops.
I would really like and I would like to if anyone could send me his information the where I can give to a lawyer because this right here I feel that's not right that a police officer had a right to punch me as big as he is with
Size don't
handcuffs
matter.
on me in the back of my head
All
so
right.
many
Well,
times.
here's what I'll do is I'm gonna deny it today.
I want to see that body cam.
However, I'll mark on the denial that you can reapply in a year. That'll
That's
give you
fair.
some time to go through it with a lawyer. Um, Guy I used to work with, Steve Drew, handles complaints against police officers. He's at
Yes, I would really like to
Drew
push
Cooper
through
and
with that
Anding. If
because
you want someone to review the case, he'll at least review it. And I can't make any comment as to its merit, but you can certainly tell Steve that Judge Rossi recommended him, as an attorney to possibly
That's
review
very
the
fair.
case at least. So,
yeah, because I want to reopen that up or something because I feel that that's not right that happened to me in front of my daughter.
yeah, no, and I
In
guess
front
what
of
I'm getting
everybody.
here,
My daughter had to see them abuse me and almost kill me outside, throw me in a police car, and then all of them did it to me in jail.
yeah.
If that, I wish that lawyer was here
But was
because
it
she
because of your
understood
actions?
exactly and she seen what happened.
I want
Well,
to
and
see that body
certainly
cam.
if
And
Miss
that
Joyce is
man, he has no heart with God.
all
That's all
right.
I can say.
Well, Miss Joyce still works at the defender's office. I'd certainly be willing to either hear her testimony or review any letter or anything she would submit in support. But what I've got right now is two different, sides of the story saying the opposite thing. I've
I
got
feel
you
that you're
saying this was
believing
terrible, and
him. You're
yeah.
taking his side.
Well, all I
And
can,
that's okay. That's
yeah,
okay because like I said, God sees what happens and how people treats people.
I
And
agree, and
justice
all I can say
is
is,
not served
yeah,
with this.
yeah, and it seems like the paperwork, at least on
And for
from
you to
his
sit
perspective,
there and
cleared him.
discriminate towards me like I didn't learn knowing you
What?
wasn't there.
What? What? What is she talking about? How is he discriminating against you? He's literally telling you, here's a guy. This dude is the guy to go to deal with your issue. He also gave this whole, you can come back in a year once you've had to. How is he discriminating against you? He wasn't there. Was he one of the cops? Was he standing there? What?
I
And
agree, and
justice
all I can say
is
is,
not served
yeah,
with this.
yeah,
Am
and
I
it
missing
seems like the
something, man?
paperwork, at least on
And for
from
you to
his
sit
perspective,
there and
cleared him.
discriminate towards me like I didn't learn knowing you wasn't there, I feel that ain't right either, sir. That's
Yep,
not
no,
right at all.
What the fuck
I
is she on about?
understand
So
the
yeah, I would like to push this further,
yep,
very
and you can
higher. And I,
also
matter of fact,
appeal.
I want to
Very
sue
higher.
him
Yep.
for abusing me and almost killing me.
Well, I'd like to say I'd recommend on the civil side, talk to Steve Drew. He
Ow.
can give you the parameters if it's a good case or not. That he
Oh,
would.
it's definitely going to be a good case because then body cams is going to get brought back in.
All right.
I have no doubt it's going to be good, but not for the reasons that you think so.
Well, like
So
I
yeah, I
say,
appreciate that.
and then you can bring this to set it aside again in a year when maybe there's a little more clarity on
I
what
don't see how it's clarity when you're not even trying to, you're listening to mainly what he did and say it's okay for a man to abuse a woman.
Well, I don't want to say that, but I would do say that, you know, it looks like from his perspective, at least, all those internal investigations that they did in the Department of Civil Rights, I assume did not find
He
any
the one who stopped
cause.
all that. He did. So
Well, but those
yes.
are independent, you know, they have some
But for you to sit
duty.
there and discriminate towards me, though, out of a
Well,
whole
I'm
7
not
years
trying to
that
be
I never been a
discriminatory
felon,
yet.
I never
Oh,
assaulted
wow.
nobody, I never did anything like that. So yeah, for you to say that to me, that's not right at all.
Yep,
So
I
yeah, let's
understand your
let's push
position,
this
but
further, and I'd rather end this.
yep, I'm just reading the files.
Lads, what am I missing here? What did she expect was going to happen? That she was going to go in there, say all that stuff, and the judge would go, "Yep, you're exonerated now. Let you go pick up that cop and put him in jail." What a dumbass! I'm sorry, to put it so in such plain words, but that's an idiot right there. Frankly, okay, and it doesn't matter that she's a woman. It doesn't matter about her skin color. None of that shit matters. She's an idiot, plain and simple, dumbass.
So the request is
Exactly.
denied
That's all
at
you're
this
doing
time.
is reading a file. You're
No, and
not
that's
sitting
all I
here
can
That's
understanding
his
as a
job.
man, feeling it's okay for them to punch me all in my head and throw me on the ground for a lie that my auntie said. That
All
was
right.
the whole thing was a lie. And I'm gonna push that too, because it's not right to make false lies to the police.
All
That's
right.
False lies. Yeah, you heard it here first, folks. Law talk with Mandy Morgan. Don't make false lies to the police.
Well,
against the law.
I understand what you're saying, and I'm more than willing to hear additional evidence, but it'll have to be a year from now.
That's all right. That's
If you
fine.
bring
What
it
I
again.
might as well end it now then.
All right. Thank
But
you.
I know one thing. I really hope God takes care of y'all.
All right. Thank you.
Alrighty, Mandy. How do we even break this one down? Oh, mother of God. Okay, so just to kind of recap, right? Sorry, my leg is absolutely vibrating now, so I got to make this super quick. So this moron over here obviously got in trouble, right? Now, I don't know what happened. I wasn't there, but she was found guilty. She pled guilty, whatever. So she's guilty in the eyes of the law, okay? Now, may there have been coercion? Who knows? Possibly, right? It happens. Okay, fine. We'll accept that. Fact of the matter is, she made these complaints about these officers maybe being too heavy handed with her. And I get it. It can look that way. I'm sure it can feel that way. And it sucks. But you kind of got yourself into this situation. So I don't really have a lot of sympathy there. Then the judge is trying to help you. He's literally saying, here's the guy to go to. He didn't have to say shit. He's saying, here's the guy to go to help you with this situation, to maybe be able to further this for you. And then she says that he's discriminating against her. I'll discriminate against you for being an idiot. How about that? Simple. If brains were dynamite, you wouldn't have enough to blow her nose. Anyway, lads and lassies, I've got to go put my leg up because it's pretty sore right now. I got some more for you, and we'll catch you in a little bit. Sláinte.